I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So as the board knows, but the community may not, this is the one meeting that I chair to start as the secretary when we do election of officers. I will start with election of committee chair for 2025, 2026. Heather is willing to serve.
I would nominate Heather.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Okay. And then for election of committee vice chair, Danielle cannot be here, but she is also willing to serve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Okay. So both are duly elected, and I will turn this over to Heather to run the meeting.
All right, so any adjustments to the agenda?
None.
Consideration of the minutes?
They should be included in your packet, and barring any errors or omission, I would recommend approval as written.
So motion.
Second.
All those in favor? So we're going to move into public comment. I'm just going to start off tonight. For those who have not participated in a public meeting before, I just want to review the rules for a public session. At the onset, we ask that speakers identify themselves and share their name and town of residence. We know discussions of school-related issues can get emotional, so please remember that our children are watching and we're all neighbors, so please be civil. Speakers should direct all comments to the board. This is an opportunity for the board to listen to the opinions of the public that relate to school and education matters. It is not a public debate or conversation, so no questions should be directed to the board, and the board may not respond to any questions if they are asked. We are here to listen. The board will not permit complaints or allegations against staff members or students. Although we care about these concerns as well, these are personal matters, which the board is not permitted to hear in public. If there are complaints about staff, these will be handled appropriately through our complaint policy. Thank you for your participation. And so now we'll open up for public comment. So if you could just state your name and town of residence.
Hello, my name is Erin McGaffey. My town of residence is Orrington. I am the mother who reached out to I can't talk about staff. So I am the mother who reached out to the news about the severe bullying issues that is going on at Center High School and the lack of response and support. I am the mother who had a daughter severely bullied throughout most of the time that she was at Center Drive School. I am the mother who reached out to the principal begging for help and was dismissed. I am the mother who reached out to the
So we're going to ask you not to talk about personnel, okay?
Okay. I am the mother who reached out to the community, desperately asking for help. The community flooded me with stories of their students that have also been bullied terribly. Students that have continued to be bullied at this school and students that have been pulled out of the school just like mine. Because of this, I'm no longer just one mother. I am the mother who stands with 40. I sent this petition that I was asking to have changed to the school board and to other faculty members at Center High School, and it was revoked. In fact, one of the board members told me that.
So again, we're going to ask you not to.
Okay. The board also ignored the commentary. I am asking that we, the parents that signed this petition, are asking for Center Drive to implement a more appropriate bullying policy that is in line with the Maine State of Education. This bullying policy is up on the Maine State of Education website. It wouldn't even have to be changed. You could literally download it. We are also asking that this policy and the bullying form that parents and students have to submit in order to even have their bullying recognized be both posted visibly on the Facebook page and the website of Center Drive, and that bullying form be sent in every single newsletter so that parents know how they can make sure that their kids are protected when they are bullied. We are also asking that the bullying become less subjective at the school. Currently, bullying is deemed whether or not it's just mean, depending on whatever decisions that whoever in the ether has decided is bullying and isn't. So we are asking that when bullying is actually, when there's a bullying incident that is reported, that whoever is in charge only decides what is that if it happened or that it didn't. If it happened, it's bullying. Done. No meanness, no questions. The state of Maine has a lovely flow chart that happens if it is bullying. The first step is simply to contact the parents. It's not suspension, it's nothing drastic, it's simply to contact the parents. Calling bullying in the school is not pointing out students or making them bad, it's calling what their behavior is, bullying, which is what it is. We are also asking for more transparency. Currently, what happens when there's a bullying incident is that one person knows about it and none of the other teachers, even the teachers or the students in their own classrooms aren't told. We want the teachers to be told, we want the specials to be told, we want people on the yard to be told, and that is told what is happening, the child that's being bullied, and the bully that is bullying that child. That is what the parents, 40 parents so far, have signed this petition and is asking for these changes. I'm asking that the board read these horrible allegations or horrible stories that have happened to these kids, stories from sexual assault to racial slurs to physical and emotional abuse that have completely been ignored and gaslit. So thank you very much. I'm sincerely hoping that although the board considers themselves taking care of the children, that you take care of all the children, not just the children that pay you.
Thank you. Anyone else have any comments?
I would like to make a comment. My name is Kathleen Harden-Beaver. My son was the victim of.
So again, we cannot discuss specific children, even if they're your own children. I apologize for that. So if you can refrain that.
There was an incident that involved cyberbullying that involved someone that I left. How about that? And I was not at all happy with how it was handled, what information was disclosed to me. He was initially blamed for.
Again, I just ask that, I understand where you're coming from and that it's hard to separate that, but we need to not talk about that specific child in a public setting.
So one of the things that I asked out of our circumstance and our situation has been handed over to the authorities, and it's up to them to deal with the repercussions of whatever comes out of it. But one of the things I asked of the school is that you implement a policy. Used to happen a long time ago of an older child who attended, and there were a lot more social media education options available. And I feel like that's an important thing that we're missing at the school, educating children on the importance of the risks of social media and what happens when you steal someone's identity and what happens when you try to implicate someone else in something and the implications that go along with that. I don't feel like the kids know, and I feel like it's something that they're not learning at home, so they probably need to learn at school. Thank you.
Thank you for that feedback. Are there any other comments? There will be another opportunity later in the meeting if anyone has anything else. So we're moving on to presentations. So summer school program.
Yep.
All right, so I'm Wendy Stone. I teach third grade here. I also taught summer school. And Mrs. Martin approached me, I think, at the end of summer school and asked if I could do a little presentation. She had seen some of the cool things we were doing, so I said, of course. and I completely forgot. Which reminded me real recently, so here we are. I taught the incoming third graders this year, and I like to go in themes. So it was 4 weeks long, so I had 4 different themes. First one we did was a beach theme, to involve a book, revolve everything around the book. And then our second week, we had some fun with fireflies and explored that. And then we had an ice cream week and a camping week, but those weren't planned. They came to me, and I'm going to tell you how they came to me. So at the very beginning of summer school, I had a student who I had had last year, and we connected really deeply. And that student got off the bus on the first day. He was unhappy about being there, but he saw me and came rushing over and grabbed me. And then every single time, well, he wasn't in my class. He had moved on now to 4th grade. So every single time the whistle would blow or it would be time to go into the classroom, he would hide behind me, like nobody would notice. And he was following me into my classroom. He wanted to be back in there. So Ms. Johnson was his teacher for summer school. She said, we've got to find a way. We've got to get him back into the room. So let's do some collaborating, which, as the committee knows, we collaborate each year with our reading buddies, our writing literacy buddies. So that's how it all started, and we decided we just needed to at least do one thing a week together. So she had the first idea. She said, let's do a little ice cream, popsicles. So her group, which was a whole group of boys, did a little bit on the history of popsicles, and they came into our classroom, and they presented that, and then we ate some popsicles. So out of that, I said, well, I bet we could teach them about ice cream. So the next week, my little 3rd graders learned the history of ice cream, and we did a cute little presentation for them. And then we upped the ante a little, and we made ice cream, right? Mrs. Hunter, thank you so much for getting those supplies for us. So we made homemade ice cream together, and it was super fun. Great way for those kids to get back into my room and just have some fun. Week 3 is where it really started getting good. So we did a camping week. So this is actually week 4. We did a camping week, because camping's my thing. Everything just revolved around camping. So I asked Mr. Maxwell, because he's the camp guy here, can we get some tents? Because if you're camping, you need some tents. So he said, yeah, you can get some tents. So we had one of our days where we literally had our classroom in our tents. We had them set out back on the playground. It was like about 95 degrees that day. The kiddos set up the tents. They had blankets, stuffies. They brought their books out. It was just a real fun time. Picture of a couple of the other tenting groups. And Ms. Johnson and I were also kind of thinking about what could our grand finale be for summer school. Like, it's going to be really big. So I asked Mr. Maxwell, instead of PE this week, can we have a campfire, like out back in the woods? And he said, yes, he would make that happen. So Mr. Maxwell went out ahead of time, and he got us a fire. My students all had jokes prepared to tell at the campfire, and her students wrote a campfire poem. So we all got together about that, and we had a little campfire. Safety was our first concern, of course, so we had beach towels around the perimeter, and they weren't allowed to go in the circle, and they all had a fantastic time. We cooked some s'mores that day. And I don't think it's something they're going to forget. I do have a video of the students that wrote the poem, and I'm going to play it. I'm not sure the audio is going to be the greatest, but I'm going to crank it up as high as it goes first. Is that too high? I'm going to give it a try. Go ahead, Glenn.
Oh, not too bad.
Short and sweet, but to the point. And that is my presentation. Our summer fun. Or any
Great.
questions? Do you want to join summer school then?
Yes, yes, I do.
Thank you.
Please do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You want to fire that up?
No, just turn it off, please.
So moving on to old business, we have a policy review.
JE should be included in your packets. You had no changes last time, so barring any errors or omissions, I would recommend approval as written.
Second.
All those in favor?
You should also have the fuel bids in your packet. A reminder that we bid for 3 schools and 3 different communities. If you look, all of them lined up favorably for us, whether it was a decrease or same as last year, which is really just for your information so that you're aware of where we're at and how it went when the bid, because that happens over the summer.
Do we need to?
No.
Moving on to new business, bill warrant number 2.
Yeah, I have it returned. You're good.
Okay, and then policy review.
Yeah, KLGA should be included in your packets. It's school resource officer. It's a new policy based on our circumstance of having a resource officer. I would answer any questions you have. However, I would recommend you approve it as written. It is a new policy and it's right in front of you.
Trying to list them?
Yes,
Yeah.
MSMA.
Yeah, oh, I already approved it.
So Mike, okay, you need a second?
Oops, second.
You need a second.
Oh,
Mike,
second. Sorry.
All right, all those in favor?
It seems like a good policy to have.
yes. You should
I
have
guess I
the,
didn't realize we
oh,
didn't have
sorry.
it before. No, that's okay. I didn't realize we didn't have it before.
You should also have the annual fundraisers in your packet. It is the PCG's proposed fundraisers for the year. It's an annual requirement that you approve it. It is enclosed, and I would take any errors or, any questions you have on that. Otherwise, I would recommend approval for that as well.
Any deviation from previous years or anything new, special, exciting?
It looks like the same
It's
stuff.
about the same, yes.
There is one thing
The
that might
coin
be
drive.
new this year. The trunk or treat might be at a different location, so that might be exciting.
Right, but it's still the same.
Same exact.
Yeah.
I was trying to have something optimistic there, yeah.
Trying to-
And these aren't all PPG's fund, but it's other fundraisers that happen throughout the building.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
The emergency plan you have in front of you as a reminder that so that you can review it. The truth is that you approve that we have one, which you do. I will take any questions you have on that, but other than that, I would recommend approval as written.
Anyone motion?
You said there were no changes from previous.
Correct. Well, staff, but
Yes, aside from staffing, yeah. I would motion.
No changes, you said?
right.
Second.
All those in favor? And then the gaming club?
So we have Heather here. You had a new club that started last year. As part of our protocol, they try that for the year to see what they have for student involvement. I'm going to turn it over to Heather so she can talk about how it went and what we saw. Anywhere is fine.
So last year I started Gamers Guild. It is a board game arcade club. So once a week we get together and we play different games. We play a variety of games. Some are familiar to the students and some are brand new, so we learn together. Some are competitive and some are collaborative, but they all, in some level, have a strategy to it. So all the kids are, using critical thinking skills, but they're having fun playing games. But on a more basic level, they are learning important social skills like how to be patient and take turns, and how to communicate with other players at the table, and just learning some really important things and being able to socialize in a way that's very low stakes. The fun thing about Gamers Guild is it's open to everybody. Not you don't have to have any prerequisite skills to join. So you can come join for one club meeting, or you can come to all the club meetings. It's an open door for everyone. So long. And that's it.
Is there like an age that you go for? Or?
It's middle school.
Middle school, okay.
Fifth grade.
Okay, perfect.
And how many students have been attending?
So it varies because, again, depending on what's going on, it could be in sports or other clubs. So sometimes I'll have 15 kids in one meeting. Sometimes I'll have 5.
Okay.
So
That's still a pretty decent amount, yeah.
We've averaged 10 over the year, though, for the board's information.
Yeah.
As you know, we lunch trying to raise things going.
You can press the hall too, after you hear the play. No, it sounds like a lot of fun, so.
And if I could just add from the special ed area, it's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity that she provides for some of our students that can't quite find that niche in life skills, and always welcoming, and they very, very much look forward to and are very excited to have the opportunity to be with their peers and then outside club.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank
Yeah, working
you.
is highly overrated. I want a gaming club.
So I would recommend that you approve it as a stipend position.
Oh, yeah, of course, yes. Motion.
Second?
All those in favor? Okay, and then we'll move on to reports. Judy?
Absolutely, have a report that is written. We had a couple of little things. We had a great start to the year. We had 3 new teachers in our building. Megan Small, grade 3 teacher, Maggie Sear, and a resource room teacher in our school board, Lauren Moffett. 2 new techs, Kathy Metcalf, Alicia Howard, Andrew Starks, and they've all adjusted well. We're having a lot of fun, I think. Kids have come back to school ready to learn, practicing routines. They all seem very excited. Following our curriculum review plan, we had our first meeting of our newly formed ELA or reading committee yesterday, and we had 10 teachers come, and we started discussing our beliefs about reading, what we wanted and needed in a new program. If that's our route that we go. It's important when you invest in a new program, of course, to make sure you get all your needs, as many of your needs met as you can. And so that's what we will be working on this year, and I'll make sure to update you as we get on.
Are the 3-year-olds included in the pre-K numbers, or are we not counting yet?
They are not included in these particular numbers, so I will get them in the next one for you.
Okay,
I'll update this in the next budget, next report, because that's changed.
Does,
all right.
okay, so the 358 does include the, what is the new program called?
Rise.
Rise program.
I don't think those, I think we have, and I don't think those are.
They don't count.
Oh, okay. They don't count towards the, okay.
I'll add that to you next.
Oh, thank you. It's big classes this year.
Yes.
That's 6th grade classes. Big.
All right, thank you, Sharon. Sharon?
All right, so you have my letter. I echo a lot of the things that Judy said. The summer was really busy around here, so many things going on. I don't know if the day of time where you see a staff member hanging around doing something aside from summer school. Like everybody just wants to be in the building and getting ready for the new school year always. So lots of fun. Judy and I did a lot of work this summer around PBIS and learning more about what we're thinking for literacy as we're looking at our literacy program for this year. And then, of course, getting prepared for the RISE program, getting thanks to Jennifer for the work that she did, but many others took part in that as well. So that is a really fun room to go and visit. Right
It
now.
looks really
It is
cool.
nice. It's a great program. I'm very excited for it. We began the school year with 2 very successful in-service days, fun house, and we're seeing the building filled with families, parents, and children. It's just super exciting. Our fall sports have already started. Tonight was our first home game for soccer, and tomorrow is our first cross-country meet. So that's really exciting and going well. And then tonight was also the first PTG meeting of the school year. We had an excellent turnout at the meeting tonight, tons of new faces coming in. And it was good to see some seasoned faces as well. PTG meets the second Tuesday of every month, and they're always welcoming volunteers, for people to help with various events. So I'm looking forward to a good year, some fun community events, and some fundraisers that helps with things like field trips or special supplies for special projects that teachers do, things like that. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Sounds good. All right, Jill. Welcome, by the way.
So RISE is an acronym that stands for Readiness, Inclusion, Support, and Engagement. And it was our official takeover of the free and appropriate public education for students starting at age 3 if they have special services needed. So it is our youngest effort yet for kiddos. We have 5 kiddos in that program, which previously, for the most part, attended at separate programs around the Bangor Brewer area locally, and now we get to service them and provide early intervention starting at age 3 for these kids that some of them have qualified and have not been able to get speech services yet, OT services yet. Some of the prep and pre-work needed to get ready to access school. Hopefully this will be their home base for a very long time. So we're very, very excited. The new staff in that room. It is an amazing place to visit. It is. The people that have come together, the team, Katie, our former middle school teacher, moved up to that program. So we have a lot of shifting. Our resource teacher from the K-4 moved up to middle school, and then we brought on board Lauren Moffett. Really excited about the growth in our program and the opportunity to do earlier intervention and hopefully in the long run make it so these kids exit special education as they grow.
Nick's a good one, right?
What's that?
Nick's a good one, right?
Yes,
Nick's a real good one.
yes, I agree.
Thank you for all your work getting all of you guys, so you're working, but that room really does look amazing.
Which room did you end up in?
We ended up in the former Gifted and Talented program.
Okay.
And maybe next month we can take it.
Oh, okay, great.
It was a mad rush to get things done, but everyone came together. And by joining and doing this now, we took part in cohort 2. This wasn't a requirement for schools until 2028. But by doing now, we were able to use funding that was provided to us to do all the renovations and everything that was needed without creating budget.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, you guys have done a great job. It's exciting. And then James.
So I'll submit it as written except with a couple of comments. One, kudos to Jill because she did work all summer to pull it off, as did most of her team. So she did a great job and it's made a big difference. Also a thank you to the custodians because what they did in this building to continue to maintain it goes unnoticed, but they've done a fabulous job as far as keeping this place current. It's now over 20 years old, almost 25, and they've maintained it, and I think they deserve some kudos for that. And then we've covered everything out except for personnel and executive, which we'll do in a minute. So.
And yes, not on here, but I did go to the Brewer High School School Board meeting last night. A couple of the highlights there are that I went to Bucksport High School, but Brewer High School. Teacher Brandy Butterfield was named Maine Special Ed Teacher of the Year, and a lot of that had to do with her work in the Best Buddies program. The Best Buddies program at Brewer High School was named the Chapter of the Year, and they were national. That was actually a national recognition, so that was very exciting for them. UTC was there, and interestingly, they have 9 sending schools, which I thought was pretty cool. They're working on their cell phone regulation policy, and there was some talk around that. And I guess the big thing that people were really interested in was that Brewer and Bangor hockey will be joining up to have a team this year. So, yeah, the enemies will now become friends, right? But those were kind of the big things they discussed. All right. We just received those, correct?
Yes.
So received, and then moving on to personnel.
Yep, so for appointments, you have Sue Wentworth, Humanities Director, Heather Allen, Gamers Guild, Lauren Moffett, K4 Resource Room, Alicia Allard, Ed Tech 1, Kathy Metcalf, Ed Tech 3, Angela Sparks, Ed Tech 3. All appointments.
And we just note those.
Yep,
All right.
yep.
And moving on to resignations and
None.
terminations. So
Executive session. Yep.
do you want to do that before? Do
Yep.
you want to allow another public
Sure.
comment? Or, so we do have an executive session today, which we all kind of leave the room to talk. So I just want to open it up again for a public comment, kind of before we go into that. Does anyone else have any? Okay.
Again, Wendy Stone, third grade teacher. I just wanted to thank the administration for your ongoing support of professional development. Because of this school and their philosophies about educating, I was able to finish my master's degree this summer, and I really couldn't have done it without the support that came from the school. So thank you.
Congratulations.
I'm a little old, but.
No.
You're never too old to learn.
But just thank you for the continued support that you give us as staff members. Appreciate it.
Oh, Alan?
I appreciate you folks coming forward with your concerns about bullying and all that. But as you can see in a public forum, you can't really talk about it a lot. And I would encourage, from my own experience, I've spoken to the principal and to the superintendent on a number of issues. By the way, I'm Alan Elkin, I'm a selectman here in town. So I've spoken with, and some of the committee members. And I find them very receptive and understanding, and they're not always going to get what you want to hear. But I would recommend that any of you folks get an audience with superintendent or the principal, as opposed to, it's good that you brought it to the public forum. You know, people need to know about it, be aware. Again, as you can see, you can't talk about anything, but I think you might have a more productive conversation outside of the public forum.
Yeah, and just to echo what you're saying, like we as a board really appreciate people coming forward. I think it's really important in order for a school to be better, that we all are involved in that process. And we do want to hear what's happening in the community and respond to that. As far as bullying, I mean, James's door is always open, and that is when you look at a board and what a board does. I was thinking about this a lot yesterday, and the best thing I could come up with is really the board sets the what and the why, but the superintendent and the staff really handle the how. So the board really sets the policies, and then it's really their job to implement the policies. So we really strongly encourage people, to start with Sharon and Judy, but then, to speak with James. And those are really the channels to go through when you're talking about a certain situation.
My name is Emily Brown, and this is my 11th year teaching here. I just wanted to say that over the summer, I started a program with PBIS, which is Positive Behavior Interventions and Supports. So over the course of 2 years, I'm going to be trained to train my staff members on how to support children, positively support them, to support their positive behavior, to focus on that rather than just focusing on the consequences. So hopefully that we can prevent the behaviors, working with students on how to prevent it. So I just wanted to share that. I'm really excited about it.
It's definitely a good step.
Okay, any other comments?
Think, to circle back, sorry.
That's all right.
Rob Prowse, I have a kid in the RISE program, his name's Nicholas, so this bullying thing, so the kind of reason I'm here. I have my concerns, and I know he's constantly gonna be with somebody, but what about the times when he's not? And, kids are unpredictable, and I don't think, I think a lot of this stuff happens online. I think it has for the last, 10 years now, consistently. And I think in terms of the support being in person, I don't think we do things in person a lot anymore. I don't think kids really live in an in-person world as it is. I don't think a lot of the kids will want to come forward and talk or whatnot. I think a more supportive, something online, something that kind of appeals more to the kids. Because it kind of seems like a very old world, what we're doing. I've been here, I grew up here, I had my own fair share of problems, I don't know if any of you remember. But, that didn't stop until, they kind of decided to stop. Matt kids spit at me. I had teachers that wouldn't do anything. And I hope that's different now, I really do. But I'm concerned about my children, obviously. I had my son, and then, Iris, I don't know if any of you know her, but she's a very bright star. I feel like I want to know that my son, my daughter are going to be well taken care of. And I think teaching kids is a good step, but consequences are still going to need to happen. I don't know, I think some workshopping here on how we can appeal to the kids who are constantly on their phones, to appeal to the kids who are constantly doing this stuff over Snapchat, over Messenger, over all that stuff, because that's where the real bullying happens. It doesn't happen normally in school a lot, and it still does, but a lot of it happens out of school, and there's not really a lot that you guys can do about that, I get it, I understand. But, if something is brought to the attention of, hey, this person is cyberbullying, there's a forum out there, there's pictures of somebody going around. I think getting to the root of it, the central person, is way more important than trying to educate and teach. I mean, yes, educate and teach, but I think getting to the roots is the important thing, because just, for me, that never happened when I was a child here. And of course, that was about 15 years ago when I attended here. I never felt supported. And I want to be able to know that that's going to be for my children, especially Nicholas. Iris can stand up for herself, Nick can't talk. Nick is an autistic little 4-year-old boy, he's not going to know speech.
So you missed this earlier, but even though they're your children, if you could not bring up specific children in this open forum, we appreciate that.
That they are my children, so that doesn't make sense. They are my children. And I'm going to name them because this is an issue that I have. And I thank you guys for everything you guys have done. You, especially, I remember you.
Yes, I do as well. Yes, I remember.
I appreciate it.
You have my number.
It's sad to me that nothing has changed in this amount of time. It's sad to me. And I really hope it gets to the root of the problem before it becomes an issue for me again. Thank you. That's it. Appreciate it.
Anyone else? Okay, at this point.
I do have one more thing. I would request, because there does seem to be an issue, that we put bullying on the agenda to be discussed, as this is definitely something that we cannot discuss, as this is a public comment, and this is not something we can talk about. We need to open this up for discussion for the board and all of the administration, so that it can be discussed and this can be addressed, as opposed to be glossed over. So I'm going to request that for the next board meeting, or for any other board meetings that might come.
So to be clear, what are you requesting?
I'm requesting that we discuss the bullying policy at Center Drive School at the next board meeting, and how that bullying policy is being implemented at Center Drive School.
And enforced.
and
I hate to say this, but I think there's a lot of nice words going around and not enough kids are suffering. A child was just kicked out of school because of this. I mean, come on.
May I ask a clarifying question, just to make sure? So you, just so I understand, you want to talk about the bullying policy as it is right now, and then understand what steps get taken when an incident is reported, and then find out how it's being, or what the school is doing to enforce it.
I would like to discuss improving the bullying policy and improving the way that that bullying policy is being implemented. Not as is now, because that's obviously not effective. I would like to discuss, because this is an open forum with our public and the board, an actual open discussion. I would like that discussed on the agenda so that we as a community can improve the way that Center Drive addresses bullying for our children. That is what I would like.
Okay. Any other comments? Okay, at this time, we're going to move into executive session.
That's a roll call vote.
Oh.
So to go into executive session, you need a motion.
Second?
Executive session.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Yep. So Britt, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Heather?
Yes.
Okay. Michael?
Yes.
Okay. We will enter executive session.
These emergency plans stay here.
Stay here. Yes.